Good evening. What does the phrase community engagement mean to you? Maybe it brings up images of park cleanups or community events, rescuing stray kittens, babysitting, tutoring. Or maybe this idea of being involved in the community just makes you kind of tired. Or it reminds you of your 12th grade graduation requirement. If you had asked me at 18 years old what my relationship to my community was like, I might have remembered that I still needed to finish my 25 hit-and-run volunteer hours for the National Honor Society that semester. You know, if I wanted to go to the ice cream social. Little did I know there was so much more to community engagement than just the summer that I spent taking up space in the back of my local library. Before we go any further, hello, my name is Dylaney, and you've just learned a little bit about my first experiences with community engagement. I promise you it gets better. I graduated from Stetson last May, and I now work here as an AmeriCorps Vista. My title is Bonner Program Coordinator, and for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Bonner Program, as many times as you've heard it mentioned tonight, please allow me to introduce you. Stetson's Bonner Program was founded in 2005 with the motto, Access to Education, Opportunity to Serve. It's all about increasing accessibility to higher education to a diverse pool of students, and we do that through paid internship opportunities and scholarships. Our goal as Bonner staff members is to help students find the intersection between their academic, community, and career interests, and to give them the paid opportunity to interact with all three of those interest areas at once in the perfect internship with one of our incredible community partners. This is our program's sweet spot model, which is a favorite of the Stetson Center for Community Engagement. Now, becoming involved in community-engaged work, no matter what aspect of that may fascinate you, has the transformative potential to change a person's life. And the students of Bonner are prime examples of that. To not only feel connected to the people and world around you, but to feel yourself making it better bit by bit can be a powerful force for good. So why don't we do it more? Well, people are busy. I don't think I'm going to get any pushback there. And as will come of little surprise to anyone who takes part in higher education, students are busy, and getting more so at younger and younger ages. Now, I am not the only AmeriCorps Vista on Stetson's campus. There are 4 of us, each one of us running a different program for students on campus. And one day we sat down for a chat and we realized the extent of our students' burnout. Higher education and career pursuit has become a rat race of resume building and self-advertisement. Everyone is constantly trying to gain enough accolades and certifications just to make themselves more appealing, first to a college and then to an employer. We are all constantly just trying to gain enough new experiences to make sure that our futures can be comfortable and successful. Overall, there's too much to do in too few hours in the day. And with all these important tasks and responsibilities constantly clogging up our to-do lists, it's not often we get the chance to sit down and evaluate our lives in earnest. It's not often that we ask ourselves, what are my values and am I living them? Am I doing something that gives me a sense of meaning? Values, meaning. Let's dissect those words a little bit. This is one definition of values as stated by the Jed Foundation. Values are the things, concepts, and ideas which we consider to be good, important, and valuable in making our lives better. While every person has values that are important to them, families and societies also can have group values. Now, the foundation then goes on to describe the ways that knowing your values can help you to make satisfying short and long-term decisions in your life. Essentially, knowing your values can help you to make the choices and changes necessary to ensure that your life not only sits well with you, but also leaves you feeling fulfilled. So, what about meaning? How do we define meaning? How do we locate meaning? Well, I could probably fill several TED Talks answering that question from the perspective of various philosophers and psychologists, and I'm sure several hundred have been filled. But today we're going to discuss the ideas of one man. This is Viktor Frankl. He is an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist known prominently for his book, A Man's Search for Meaning. Now, in this book, he not only describes his experiences surviving the Holocaust as a Jewish person, but he also delves into his studies of a field which he coined as logotherapy. Now, logotherapy essentially translates to healing through meaning. Frankl believed strongly that meaning was, quote, a factor in our mental health and that it was a psychologist's job to help their client find meaning. So if we're discussing Frankl, how did he define meaning? Well, Frankl's website states this: meaning cannot be created by us or given to us. It is a discovery process, a personal journey that makes life worth living. The article then concludes itself with the following quote by Frankl: "For only to the extent that man has fulfilled the concrete meaning of his personal existence will he also have fulfilled himself." Now, I love this description of meaning being a personal journey, an individual discovery for everybody to make, and it makes sense. In order to find something that's going to be personally fulfilling to you, it's going to take a very personal journey to find it. However, just because it's personal doesn't mean we don't have some ideas of where to look to find meaning. According to a 2021 research study done by the Pew Research Center, many people around the globe derive meaning from the following 16 categories. So there it is, there's meaning, you can all go home. But of these 16 categories, I see community engagement, the topic of my talk today, the topic of our talk today, fitting really neatly into 3 of them. First up, occupation and career. If you can integrate your values into your workday, you utilize that time not only for making more money, furthering your career, and supporting yourself and your loved ones, but you also use it for instilling meaning into your personal life. Secondly, friends and community. This one's a no-brainer. If you step outside of an insular life, the more opportunity you have to meet new people, gain new friends, and make new community. Not only that, but if you're taking part in values-driven work, you increase the likelihood that you are going to encounter people who share your values and develop a deeper sense of belonging in your community. And finally, physical and mental health. As we discussed during our chat about Frankl, meaning plays a role in our mental health. And the more that you can engage with your values on a day-to-day basis, the more positive effects your mental health has the potential to experience. Now, if these are the values and if these are the categories from which people derive meaning, then what I want to make abundantly clear is the way in which community engagement and values-driven work can fit really well within these categories and bring more meaning into people's lives, thus improving their mental health and overall life satisfaction, especially where work is concerned. According to Gettysburg College, the average person will spend about 90,000 hours of their life working. And if we're going to spend 90,000 hours doing something, surely it should be something we feel connected to. At least then, maybe when finances struggle or when love for your work goes through a waning phase, values can serve as another bridge to bring meaning into your life. When we engage with our community through work or through volunteering, it removes us from this siloed, insular existence. Community engagement can provide us new perspectives and new opportunities for love and joy and fulfillment, and theoretically, in the eyes of Viktor Frankl, could be considered a form of mental and emotional self-care as we daily reorient ourselves to our personal life's meaning. Now, this is not to say in any way that integrating values into your work is some sort of replacement for further mental maintenance or rejuvenation. No, rest and time away from work are still critically important to fostering balance and mitigating the effects of burnout. And truthfully, no matter how many values you integrate into your work life, it's no replacement for having a personal one outside of it. However, maybe through community engagement, we can find some new sources of joy and belonging and fulfillment during our day-to-day, during those work hours, as opposed to searching for all of that after the work day is done. Now then, while there is so much to gain from community engagement, there are definitely healthy and unhealthy ways to do it. Earlier on in this talk, you may have caught me briefly alluding to this concept of hit-and-run volunteerism. You know, the ice cream social. What this type of volunteering is a type of volunteering that has a much more self-centered motivation, a motivation that's a lot more akin to doing our mandatory good deed of the day. However, how wonderful would it be if our goal for engaging with our communities was about continually pursuing social justice, as opposed to overbearingly inserting ourselves or taking over for our own gain? While we may live in the communities that we want to engage with, this doesn't make our perspective the only one. Knowing the specific needs and desires of that community are crucial to ensuring that we are taking part in ethical and mutually beneficial community engagement. Now, you can do this simply by finding a community partner, a community organization, talking to them, forming a relationship, and figuring out what they need and what would benefit them. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, I think this is the biggest part of what I was missing when I was younger. I never thought to listen to my community. I never thought to ask them what they needed. If I could go back and change it, I might ask a few more questions than just, hey, how can I get my service hours as quickly and easily as possible? I'm grateful for how much I've learned about community engagement through my position. I truly feel like a different person, and one who might have been very, very helpful to young Dylaney. My involvement with the Bonner program has truly changed my life. The students that I work with and their drive to change the world inspire me every day. I hope the impact of this program never leaves me, not only for the classic reason of being a part of something larger than myself, but also to know the deep connection and fulfillment that comes from knowing and joyfully working with the people around me. Now, if you're interested or curious about getting involved in community engagement, if you're curious about knowing how to identify your values and take steps towards living them every day, there are so many ways to get started. However, I will pose to you a question that can serve as the building blocks for your community engagement journey. This is one that we frequently ask of our students. What pisses you off? It is as simple as that. What upsets you to the point of action, whether it be mental health advocacy or politics or human rights or environmental sustainability? Find that issue area that lights a fire in your belly for better. You can use your answer to this question to develop your own sweet spot and to unite your own skills, passions, and experiences into an experience that will not only benefit the world around you, but also leave you feeling fulfilled because they're your values, they're what you care about. Real community relationships are not transactional. They're also not superfluous. Real community engagement is mutually joyful. There is no better way to see the good in the world than to be a part of creating what you think would make the world better. I encourage you to find that issue area that makes you want to do better and be a part of creating that goodness that you want to see in the world. I encourage you to find that passion, find that opportunity, and find the you in community, because it just might change your life and the lives of everyone around you. Thank you.